the legislative activity too, in whichever way they are going. But for us, it didn't go down well with us. That we lost such a number of members. It didn't go down well with us. We're not happy about it, But then, this is politics. This is politics. Anything can still happen tomorrow. Things might change, and they might decide to come back. So we are not giving up, even when we are not happy. We are not giving up entirely, on the situation. We are still pushing on us the party.
Would I be correct? Would I be correct if I say that the PDP were not aware that these people were going to, leave the party and join the APC? I mean, if I would refer to comments made by the minister during one of his visits to the state, he said he too did not know, and many have considered him the leader of the party in the state, and he said he did not know as well. So my question now is how it got to a point where the PDP wasn't aware that there were some people who are lawmakers in Rivers State that have certain concerns and are considering leaving the party and joining the APC. It's very unusual for a party like the PDP, especially in Rivers State, for something like that to happen. And then we have leaders in the party say, well, they were not told, they did not know. Shouldn't people have reasons to say this is unusual, even for the PDP in Rivers State?
Well, we were aware of the issues, that were going on between the legislative arm and the executive arm. And as a party, we stepped in, we did our best to see how we can wade into the crisis and bring about peace. But you see, like the usual saying, you can take a cow to the river, but you can't force it to drink. That is the truth. So in the process of trying to see how we can, bring about peace, in respect to what was going on, we got that breaking news one morning. And it came to every one of us, as a rude shock. So we never envisaged that, and we never expected that, because as far as we are concerned, apart from us, the party, the leaders and several other stakeholders, we are doing all they can to see how they can, arrest the situation. And we were talking to the both parties, all the parties involved. We were doing that. And when suddenly we saw that happen, so we can't force anybody to be a member of our party. I feel at that level, maybe they have their reasons, and they have done it. That is the truth. So there's no need kind of a stalemate. So
is there some sort of plan of how the PDP intends to see that in the House it lobbies its way around to ensure that the opposition, who is now majority in the House, does not impede the developmental plans of the governor, who is coming from your party, and denying Rivers people the opportunity to send dividends of democracy?
Like I said earlier, as bad as the situation is, that we have not given up on the situation. We're still moving on. We're still pushing, to see how we can do that. But let me quickly, state one very clear fact here. We are all Rivers people. And for us, what we need is the states to move on. So any interest of an individual or a group shouldn't override that of the state. So whatever that is going on, I'm just passing maybe like an advice, whatever. I don't know how you're going to see it. We should put our state first. Our activities, how is it affecting our state? Is it allowing us to move on, or is it keeping us as a standstill? Because if we don't move on, it's going to affect the ripple effect. Is going to be on every one of us. We have relatives who are not executives or who are not elected people. They are like every other normal, common Nigerian on the streets of Port Harcourt, waiting for the goodies of the government to come down, so that in one way or the other, they will benefit.
Was this? Yeah, was this part of your reasons for collaborating with Mr. Yobana? I mean, we know that at the grassroots level, there were calls for people to support the governor and the administration. What you've just stated now, was that part of the reasons why you embarked on that exercise?
No, the truth is this: I supported an NGO we called Ogunisi Vanguard before the election. I was a major and key player, in that NGO. alongside Mr. Marvin Governor before the election. So I have been a major person as a crusader for him for governorship. So it's not something that just started yesterday. I'm a key player in if you look at the activities of Ogonisin Vanguard, you will see me in nearly everything. I'm a major stakeholder in that NGO.
Mm. So tell us now, for people who have these concerns that there might be a problem of where loyalty lies or some sort of loyalty divide within the PDP in Rivers State, there are people who have the idea that, well, it's possible that some people are loyal to the minister, others are loyal to the governors. There's a divide in the PDP in Rivers State. Can you clarify for us, especially now that we prepare for the local government elections, which would definitely bring me to another question. Is the PDP a one united front? And if it is, who is leading the PDP at the party level in Rivers State?
Well, you see, I don't know why these questions keep coming up. Clearly, leadership. The honorable minister, assumed leadership of PDP even when he was a minister. Hello?
Go ahead.
Anyway, yeah. So, assumed the leadership of PDP when he was Minister of State for Education. As soon as the then Governor Rotimi Amechi left PDP into APC, he assumed that role and he held that till he became governor. And as a governor, there's what they call paraphernalia of office. What comes with that seat as a governor is, as well as being, as a governor, you are the leader of the party. And today, Gov Fubara is the governor of Rivers State. And that goes with the paraphernalia of the office. Based on protocol, that is something that is there. So it's not anything that we should. Yes, that does not move Wike as our leader. Our leader is still our leader. In fact, he's now like a father to every one of us. That is the truth. So it's not anything we want to bring in, say, politics or make games about it. It comes with it's a protocol that is laid down before now by the constitution of our party.
All right, but and then it's shocking to see because you've just made this clear. We've had many other members of your party who felt otherwise. But before we go on a short commercial, I want to take us to something I would need a response to, because for many people, they didn't get to see a statement from the PDP talking about it. And this is, I'm sure you're aware of, what concerns the Ikore Council chairman at the time and the governor of Rivers State. Reports that I got from some individuals was that there was some form of apology that came out from the Ikore Council chairman towards the governor following the saying comments that he made at a meeting, a fora in Ikore Local Government Council. Now, what I want to point out was something he said about the leadership of the party, asking that everybody be mindful of the words and the comments that they made. Were any disciplinary, weren't there supposed to be some form of disciplinary actions or caution that the party could have taken towards what was said and actions or comments that was made directed to the office of the governor and the person of the governor? Was there anything that the PDP would have done, looking at the fact that the governor is a member of the PDP and leader of the party in the state, and the council chairman is also a member of the party?
Yeah, well, the truth is this. We came up with a press release, trying to talk to our members. But for that, generally, so that we will see people who will be finding ambers of war, between the two leaders, we need to see how we can come together as a people. After all, the president has intervened, and the key things, agendas, the resolutions, key, points of resolution that we are, stipulated out. We see the governor attending to them one after the other. So we should allow that process to flow naturally, so that we can get back to the point where we were before this whole empire started. But the issue of the local government chairman and the governor should be, left the way it is, because just like you rightly said, he attended, an apology to the governor. So I think at this point, We should allow it as something that has happened and has passed. You understand me?
All right, we'll take.
We don't want to begin to pour fuel on.
We'll take a short commercial. When we come back, we'll continue from this point. So please just stay on the line for us. A short commercial. We'll be back.
Go.
Eight. My name is Ifeyemi Andrew. Get on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH and follow the conversation. My guest is the spokesperson of the PDP in Rivers State, Sydney Gbara. And on Facebook, in your view, what does the victory at the Supreme Court for the governor and the recent appointments of the chief of staff and special advisors, what does it signify for you? What's your interpretation? And my guest said it simply shows a governor that's focused and know what he's doing and ready to deliver democracy and its dividends to the people of the state. Beyond that, he's also been responding to other questions around activities in the party, how it's dealing with some issues and how it had been dealing with some of the political intrigues that we've seen in the state in the past couple of weeks. Mr. Gbara, thank you for staying on the line for us.
Thank you very much.
All right. So just before we open the phone lines and take some questions from the listener and a few messages on Facebook and WhatsApp, I was asking the PDP's role now in all of this with trying to mend fences between the governor and what has happened regarding the comments of the Korea Council chairman. Now, I told you earlier that I also got some sort of report from some corner saying what looks like an apology. Or they didn't feel comfortable with the apology, but the corner said it looked like an apology was made to the governor at an event again. Hopefully we see videos of it sometime soon and hear about it. But the question now is for the PDP, how it's people expected perhaps some caution to be put down and say, oh, we have to caution the council chairman for this comments because this is the governor, is the leader of the party, and this is the number one citizen of the state. So now, going forward, how is the PDP mending that fence in that relationship?
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, we've been talking to our people to see how we can exercise restraint, in some of the, comments that are not helping the peace process. Not everything we will make public. There are some we are talking to them, engaging people to understand that the president has stepped into this issue, and that even when we know it is not something that is going to achieve, in a day or two, it's going to take a little while. But they usually say, give peace a chance. If you don't give peace a chance, the peace cannot come. So it's something we all have to, in our individual ways, see what we can do to mend fences, because we're all one indivisible family of the PDP, at least for those of us that are still in the PDP. We just still have to see how we can move our state. It's our state. If nothing good comes out of the administration of Gov Fubara, it's a waste for us. Even if it doesn't come to us, there are people who need it. And for the sake of that, we all need the peace. And for me, I see the governor, showing a lot of goodwill in that regard. He said no price is too much for him to ensure that we achieve peace. And we are seeing him demonstrating it. Recently, we saw the swearing of the commissioners who resigned. We saw Edith resigning totally from the assembly, which was not even part of the 8-point presidential resolution. So we all need to, play our roles one way or the other to see that peace comes to the state.
All right.
So that's what we're doing.
I know you responded partially to this, but I need to just take you back so we can make some clarifications. Those lawmakers who had joined the APC cited some sort of division in the PDP at the national level. You are the spokesperson of the party here in Rivers State, and that would simply mean that you're privy to certain information. So if you can clarify for us, is the PDP at the national level divided to a point that lawmakers can make an excuse with that to can make that as a reason for, or cite it as a reason for their defection?
Well, the National Publicity Secretary had already addressed that matter, and an official press statement has been issued in respect to that, and that makes it impossible for me to comment on that. The National Working Committee has taken a position. I've responded to that and has taken a position.
And what did they say?
You saw the press conference.
Well,
you saw the press release.
But you're a member of the party. We can also ask you for what they said.
Yeah, the National, they are taking a position, and I wouldn't want to meddle into what the National have already taken a position on.
All right, then. Let's go to the phone lines and take some questions from our listener, and also your comments on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, don't forget Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. From wherever you are listening to us, you can join in on the conversation. It's the beautiful thing about social media. You can watch and listen to us from anywhere in the world on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. And on X, Nigeria Info PH. Send in your messages on WhatsApp 0809 030 6416. I know you're itching to ask your questions and make contributions, so we'll open the phone lines now. The number to call 070 0923 0923. I'll take that again, 070 0923 0923. That is the number to call, the only number you should be calling to join us on the show this morning. I'll take some of the Facebook message, Facebook messages first. Braided May says, I think the verdict was right with the governor, but my only problem is why would there be a division amongst the party, not just any member but lawmakers, if really they are out there for the interest of the people and not for their own selfish interest and political favoritism. Ihianyi Chuku Larry Bear says the victory of the governor at the Supreme Court is indeed a welcome development, clearly showing that the governor won the election. With the recent appointment of chief of staff and special advisors shows that the governor is in charge of his government and no one is dictating for him who gets appointments or not. Chile Edwin says it's expected that the former governor would stop distracting the governor with the political interest after 8 years of holding Rivers people during his time of leadership. Christopher Chinuji says, I hope this victory will translate to peace, stability, and progress in Rivers State. Ogo Jonah Justice on Facebook says, why is the PDP in the state said to be above any individuals? Why can't they discipline anyone in the state? The Query Council chairman made comments directed to the governor. Lawmakers' impeachment moved against the governor. The public confrontation to the governor. When all this was happening, where was the PDP in Rivers State? Okay, on WhatsApp, Mr. Ifiemi, he says, I want to ask your guest, what is the PDP doing to replace the defected lawmakers? There is a call on the state governor to join the APC. Where is that call coming from? Me, I've not heard the call, please. Let's not make comments that are not factual and cannot be proven, please. Another one here says, what will it take the PDP to compel INEC to conduct election to replace lawmakers? Prince Nathaniel. I think we should address this, Mr. Gbara. There are those who are of the opinion that the lawmakers who have left the PDP to the APC would lose or should lose their positions because of what is stated, the laws of the land. What's your view to this? And the conditions would be that they were cross-carpeting because there were no divisions in the PDP. So we have people who think that they should still not be addressed as lawmakers. Where does the PDP in Rivers State stand with this position?
Well, there has been a lot of comments and insinuations in respect to that, maybe in line with the provision of the Constitution that, that has to do with cross-carpeting. And we all know that equally has resulted to making that issue an issue of litigation. Those interested parties have gone to court to maybe see how that section of the Constitution or the Act be interpreted, and exercised, So it's a purely legislative issue. Issues that are in court, we shouldn't us start debating more because like as if we are preempting, what the courts will come up with. So I think it's what we need to keep our fingers crossed and see what comes out of the litigations that have come up as a result of their action.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure, Nathaniel, you got to respond to that one. Good morning. This is Blessed from Alu. Okay, I think you're referring to the apology of the Query Council chairman. He says it's unacceptable because the whole world had heard the abuse. And what else? Oh, Blessed, I don't get that one at all. As a party that's above every... Okay, so another question here was from Ogo Jonah Justice, who says, while all that was happening in the state was happening, the PDP seemed not to have been very vocal and seemed not to have put down a strong foot in addressing this and calling its members to order. And so the question is, where was the PDP when all that was happening with the lawmakers, with the impeachment, with all that was happening? Where was the PDP in Rivers State? There's a question that's been asked. We'll get you to respond to it. Let's just add this one to it. Mike says, good morning. Please ask the PDP spokesman in the state to tell the governor to hasten with his plan to materialize the 10,000 jobs for youths. The youths love him and we're patiently waiting for him to do the needful. Well, he's the PDP spokesperson. He's not the governor's aide. I don't know if you've gotten an appointment with the governor. Have you, Mr. Gbara? Or, except maybe when you have party meetings, you just find a way to pass the information to the governor. But
I'll do just that.
All right, thank you. So the other question.
Actually working on that. It's actually working on that.
Okay. Have you by chance gotten any idea as to what extent
I can't really say for now, but I know that he's doing something about.
All right, let's try the phone lines.
He wants to address within a short while from now.
Okay, then 070-0923-0923 is the number to call. Please just tell us your name, where you're calling from, and let's go on with it. Nigeria Info. Oh, okay. Hello, Nigeria Info. Hello, Nigeria Info. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning to you. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from, and go ahead.
My name is Samson Jacob, calling from Omudioga.
All right, Samson, go on.
I am particularly interested on the response of the PDP spokesman there, who you threw a question at him, asking him what the party did. How were they able to discipline their member who insulted their leader of the party in the state? He avoided the question and played with it. Yes, he was supposed to tell us, okay, we cautioned him or we did this or we did, because for posterity's sake, this kind of thing can happen in the future. How are they going to address the matter?
All right. Let's go to Gloria now. Gloria, good morning. She's calling from Odili Road.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Okay, my question to you is, even all the questions, he's not going straight to the point. He's not understanding themselves. One advice I would give to our party members, because if you ask me, I would tell you PDP is not really I don't know how to put it. Or the chair, PDP chair, I don't know if that office is still functional. Is there anything like PDP chairman these days? All these controversies, I've not seen them being active. So, straight say something tangible. Even the questions you're asking your guests, you try to approach them. What you ask him, don't get him answers to it. Thanks for that. The governor wants it. They should allow him to complete his 4 years. If we do anything that is not correct, then we are the one that will go to the house. He's not using all this corner citing to stop.
All right, Gloria. Thank you. Thank you. We're trying to make heads or tail from what you're saying, because I think there's interference from the network. But we get your point clearly. You said you're not satisfied, if I'm to summarize, with the answers given by my guests to some of the questions that has been asked. Let's go to Rukboku, and hopefully the connection is better with Walter. Walter, good morning.
Good morning, Chief Ifeanyi Andrew.
You're welcome.
Yes. Good morning, my brother there in the studio.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, I want to ask. In the House of Assembly, recently we heard that the PDP members defected to APC. And right now, Martin is still the speaker. The speaker is he acting at the capacity of PDP or APC in the state? And if he's acting as a member of APC, what do you think tomorrow will be the fate of the governor, the city governor? What will be his fate? Don't you think that in future that there should be another impeachment? Don't you think so? Or are they thinking coming back again to PDP? That is my question.
Okay, Walter, thank you very much. I guess we'll respond to all of those. I'm pretty sure it's jotting down. Let's hear from Braid in Oginigba, and then we go to Temple in Artillery. Braid, good morning.
Yes, good morning. spokesman of PDP. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
My question this morning is that the expression that Samuel Wanosike melted to the governor, as a party, are there not disciplinary organ in the party as to insult and publicly immolest the executive governor of Rivers State, the number one citizen of the state? And also, I want you to also pass this message to executive governor that the matters that are in the court are RSSDA, River State Road Management Authority, demonstration school, and the lecturers. The River State government, what are they doing concerning those matters? These are Rivers youth that has been thrown out of their job, and those things are bringing insecurity to the state. Something urgently should be done. And also, the defection of the 27 House of Assembly members. As a party, I want to ask you, is there any crisis in the party at the state level or at the federal level? Or did they also send a written letter to the party for defecting? Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you, Braid. Temple in Artillery, good morning.
Good morning, the very distinguished Ifemi Andrew once again.
All right, go ahead.
Permit me to salute and my publicity secretary, Honorable Sidney Gbara. I celebrate you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Thank you,
very
my brother.
Distinguished Ifemi Andrew, like the question you rightly asked, in as much as I'm concerned, I am one man who feel or believe that the victory of my governors are similar to Fubara at the Supreme Court signifies that indeed the voice of the people remains the voice of God. There is no two ways about it. And when you look at the appointment, the recent appointment, the governor has done, it shows a man who is committed in hitting the ground running. And a man who knows that he cannot achieve it all by himself, but he needs some level of a collaborative effort with good brains that will help him to hit the ground running. In as much as I'm concerned, Governor Tim is the best gift that has happened to Rivers people. As we appeal to him to continue to ensure that Rivers State receive as nothing the good dividends of democracy. As I always tell him, you should remember HA people. Thank you. All right,
thank you, Temple. All right, we'll take Mufasa and Susie, and then we get on to my guest. Mufasa from NTA Road, good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning, Andrew, and good morning to the guest.
Go on.
Let me first of all also appreciate and congratulate his courage. I mean, it takes a man of this kind of courage to still be speaking for justice and for truth. But I have a question for the guest, because I know that even the National Working Committee of the party that you referred to has stated vehemently that there is no crisis in the party. And by virtue of the sections 109 of the Constitution, section G, it said that the moment you move from one party to the other, when there is no crisis in your party, you automatically lose your seat. Okay? Now, as a party in the state, as a publicity secretary of the party in the state, don't you think that it is wise for the state chapter of the party to go against this? Because these people are no longer members of the PDP. And as members of opposition party in the House, I can tell you for free that their aim is to frustrate the governor, because that is what the opposition, that is what they do. So is it not proper and wise for the state to also join in calling for the sack of these people, by virtue of section 109, subsection G of the Constitution, which said that they have moved to another party when there is no crisis in the PDP, that they've lost their seat as a secretary of the party.
Thank you.
What is his position on that?
All right. And then Susie from Erema, good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, thank you very much. There is nothing that is automatic as far as that section 109 is concerned, except an interpretation is given by court. And that's the reason why some of the civil society in the River State has gone to court for interpretation. You cannot just quote the Constitution on radio or on the street and expect anybody to act on that until court gives a kind of explanation to that effect. I want to also appreciate and admire the spokesperson of the PDP. I can see somebody who actually teaches us and has stood on the path of alternative dispute resolution and not to cast aspersion on anybody. All the questions you have asked him this morning, I can tell you that this man has been diligent, pathfinding, at answering all the questions, just to make sure that he provides that leeway to make sure that people are motivated in this state. I commend him. Gbara, thank you very much, Susie, for
all right, Susie. All right, quickly, Mr. Gbara, let's come over to you now. At least you have some people who are commending your courage and your prowess in responding to the questions we've been asking. But then, of course, there are still more questions to ask. I'm pretty sure some of the listeners still want to test that prowess. Let's begin with, the most pressing, which has to do with the members of the Assembly. I'm sure you heard that come on repeatedly. What's the party's own position with this? If you say that the National has put out a statement and we're all aware what the national leadership of the party said, is the party in the state level aligning with that or not? What is the way forward?
Yeah, when I said the National has taken a position and that we will not need to meddle into it, what automatically means is that is National we are a state chapter. And if the National has taken a position, is binding on every state chapter. So the position of the National is what we are looking at. And just like one of the speakers said, I equally thank him for helping me to throw more light on this, because what we are trying to do is to educate the people. Something that is subject to litigation already. Civil society, a lot of concerned individuals, had made this move. So we shouldn't, or we cannot sit back and begin to say things. It's just to allow the process to get to a point where we're going to hear to say, oh, this is the interpretation we got, and that is it. As a party, like a father, all the parties involved. Do you understand? And that role will always try to see how we play, no matter how difficult it is. So that is how it is.
All right.
And there is nothing anybody can do about it. So we'll have to wait and see what will come up from the efforts some concerned citizens have made towards getting an interpretation for the actions of the assembly members.
Okay.
And one of our sisters, who called, I think she's the only lady that...
Yes, Gloria.
Is good at response. Says she's not satisfied. Yes. I wouldn't expect everybody to be satisfied with what we are talking about or the way we are standing right now. But I believe that whatever we are doing, we have to look at the body language at the man who we are looking up to. The person we are looking up to is the governor. What is his body language? His body language is the peace. He wants peace. And he said, no price is too much for him, to ensure that there is peace. Why is he looking for peace? So that he can be able to do what he has in mind for the people. And because of that, we are constrained to see to it that we follow him in that same manner and in that same way. That is why you see some of the issues that are coming up. We are trying to, I know what the people want to hear, but that is not what we are trying to look at now. What we are looking at is the long run, the bigger picture of achieving that peace in Rivers State, so that every one of us can enjoy the goodies that will come from this.
All right, and then quickly, before we let you go, I think you respond to this, and hopefully this question I would ask is not one that you would say is a litigation over concerning it. What is the process of defection? If a member of the PDP is to move to another party, what processes does your party have on ground that should be followed by that member before they leave?
It all depends. If a member,
a member occupying a political, a public office, for instance, a governor, a lawmaker, and etc., elective positions.
Except there is crisis.
So when there is crisis, you can just get up and leave. There's no process, no channel, nothing you do. You don't write to anybody. You don't inform the party.
Except there's crisis in, at least what can make you, because if you're holding a position in
an elective position,
an office, an elective position, which a particular political party elected you into, you owe that political party a lot. It's not what you just come one morning and say you want to leave.
So what is required of that person to do? Does the PDP have a procedure? Do you need to inform the party? Do you have to write to certain authorities? I mean, isn't there some sort of process, or can a person just wake up and say, I'm no longer interested, I'm leaving because I think I see this and that happening?
Of course, there are no organization, every organization will have such processes. You have to inform the party and state your reason, and the party will look into it, to see if the reasons you're giving is cogent enough.
Okay.
Or not.
All right, Mr. Gbara, we have to say thank you. Yeah, we're out of time already. Stay with us. Enjoy the rest of your day.
To this.
He done of trading himself. James,
Susan, I beg. Say you the wine me.